Who is Barkilphedro? Welcome to the final part of the series where I break down the main characters in The Man Who Laughs by Victor Hugo. Barkilphedro is the reason everything goes to shit. Barkilphedro started off his political career as a courtier in the court of King James II, but once King James fell out of power, so did Barkilphedro, but he stayed around the palace and just kind of slept where he could, found meals when he could, and once Duchess Josiana was of age and was looking for a staff of her own, she found Barkilphedro, and she was intrigued by the fact that he had fallen so far and was just kind of scrounging bed and bread from where he could, and yet he was an educated man. They could talk about books and philosophy and things together, so she took Barkilphedro in and gave him a place in her staff. She gave him a position that he wanted, working at the Admiralty. He works as the guy that inspects anything that's brought in from the ocean, like messages in a bottle, and that is how Barkilphedro learns of Gwynplaine's past. When the Comprachicos were banished, they set sail on a ship, but their ship went down in a storm, and as the ship was sinking, they wrote out a confession detailing Gwynplaine's heritage, and they stuck it in a bottle and threw it in the ocean, and all these years later, it's finally washed up on shore and ends up in Barkilphedro's hands. And Barkilphedro realizes that Gwynplaine, a commoner, and a disfigured one at that, will inherit the estates of Lord Clancharlie because he is Lord Clancharlie's legitimate son. And he also realizes that Duchess Josiana will then have to marry Gwynplaine. And Barkilphedro is just delighted at that because he is basically like the Claude Frollo of the story, where he's the older guy that is in love with or in lust with this beautiful young girl, and he also despises her because of his attraction to her. But also Barkilphedro hates Josiana because she is so kind to him, and she's been nothing but kind to him, and he hates that he owes everything to her because he knows that all the things she's given him, his position at court, his position at the Admiralty, his nice comfy rooms, everything he has, everything that she's given him, every kindness she's given him are just crumbs off her plate. And he despises her because of that. And so he is the one who reveals Gwynplaine's past to Queen Anne and sets the wheels of that in motion because he wants to humiliate Josiana. Not knowing, of course, that Josiana has a thing for commoners and wants to fall from grace. And once Josiana finds out that she has to marry Gwynplaine, she's just like, "So Gwynplaine, you will be my husband. How fitting. I hate you." And she loses all interest in him, but she isn't humiliated the way Barkilphedro thinks she'll be. And in fact, Barkilphedro's actions end up costing Gwynplaine everything and everyone he's ever loved. Victor Hugo describes it as Barkilphedro aiming at the eagle, aiming to bring down Josiana, brings down the dove, Dea. And that is Barkilphedro. He's such a fantastic villain. And those are the characters of The Man Who Laughs, the main characters. What are your thoughts on them?